Greetings, it's still active listening week here at Sapphire Coaches. And in the last video we talked about what is active listening and why do we do active listening. And today I would like to talk with you a little bit more about how to active listen. What do you actually need to do to get in the right frame of mind and take the right actions to be an active listener? Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to make a promise in this video. And here's what it is. If you're willing to pause for a moment, kind of get yourself centered, and take the next few minutes to listen like your life depends on it, I mean really listen, grab a pen, take notes if you need to, whatever makes you comfortable, dedicate yourself to learning active listening in the next few minutes. And I promise you'll be able to take this information and go out into the world and use it, whether or not you're a professional coach already. So, ready to get started? Here we go. How do we do this thing called active listening? And I'm going to start out by saying that silence is golden. There is so much going on in the silence. So when you're having a conversation with someone and people are thinking and processing, we tend to jump in. Get comfortable with silence. Silence. It's even uncomfortable pausing for a moment for some people. Pregnant pauses are very powerful. They allow the other person to speak in their natural pace and communicate, and it opens up the space when you're the active listener to just allow it to unfold and sit back and be calm. The next thing I think that active listening really does and how you would do it is to focus. Focus. Don't think of anything else. Just look at the other person, listen to the other person, leave some space, and focus. And when we focus, we have to watch out for the distractions, because there's so many things going on out there that will potentially distract you, whether it's the air conditioning going on in the room, whether it could be anything. So these little tips aren't really the how. They're just sort of the surface of the how. These are just some ideas that are pre-context for the real how. So you ready for this? The real how to active listen. This is the big piece. And believe me, I'm just talking, so it's hard for me here because I'd actually like to hear your reaction. But here's what I'm going to say. Let's drill down one more layer, because active listening is all about you personally. It has nothing to do with the distractions and all of these other things that I talked about. It's about fundamentally being so calm at your center and so present that there's nobody else in the room but the person you're listening to. So how do we do it? Here's the first thing of the how. Get calm, get centered. Pick your way of doing that. If you're going into an important conversation or even a casual conversation, take a moment to reset yourself. If it's a big conversation, sit and close your eyes for a few minutes. Just get right into the center of yourself and let all the distractions go away. Because when you're in a conversation from your center, you're listening. And you're just waiting to hear what the other person has to say. You're not thinking about what you're going to say because you're calm. Part 2, and this is a little statistical. Listen 80% of the time in the conversation and speak 20% of the time. Now, it's not always going to work out exactly that way, but focus on listening a lot more than you speak, because then when you speak, it'll key off what the other person said. So first thing is get centered. Second thing is listen 80% of the time. And here's the third thing and the last thing, because we're running out of time. Put yourself in the other person's story. Hinge on every word like you're reading a good book and you don't know what the outcome is going to be. You don't even know what the path is going to be. It's a story. And you went and bought a book and you're going to read the story. Well, this book in front of you is the person's story. So approach it just like you were reading a book and you had no idea where the road was going to take you or what the outcome would be. So I want to sum up these 3 things about you inside of you, and that is get calm and get centered and just get right in the middle of yourself so you can give all your attention to that person. Listen way more than you speak and put yourself in their story. Immerse yourself in what they're saying so that you can follow along and ultimately respond back to them based on what they say. That's it in a nutshell. The biggest part now is practice. Do this every day. Go out in the world, and just from what you learned today, practice with your family, practice with your friends, practice with your coworkers. Practice and commit, maybe just for a few minutes every day, to listening to someone else's story and the things that they have to say, with absolutely no need to tell them anything about yourself or what's going on with you. That's it for now. Sound like fun? It is. And if you're interested in professional coaching where we do this every day, I'd like to make a quick invitation for you. It's $299 to jump in and join the Associate Certified Coach Credential Starter Program. You'll get 12 training hours toward your Associate Certified Coach credential. You'll get training, support, a great environment to learn about active listening and other things, and it's all self-paced. So you can do this really on your own schedule and in your own comfort. That being said, if you'd like to find out more, click on the button around this video. Thank you so much for staying engaged today, and I'm looking forward to potentially helping you with your coaching journey, and maybe we'll all listen to each other a little more as we go forward.